Hi there, thank you for joining me on Ferncrafts. I'm Christine and I welcome you to my channel. Today I wanted to do a quick video for you on how I am helping some of my orchids with the humidity, especially the ones that are recovering. Over the last 2 days I've just been through my entire orchid collection and just going through them, weeding out anything that I'm just holding on for no reason, cleaning up and repotting. I've been repotting everything. So a lot of them have been downsized just because after cleaning up and, you know, getting rid of things, you know, parts of it that were either diseased or not functioning anymore for whatever reason, you know, dead roots and things like that. A lot of them have been downsized and I've ended up with a lot of them. If I could just back up here, and this is just a few. I have a few more that I'm still working on, and I'm going to think that maybe this tray will have a lot more on it of those that are in need of more attention. Let's say they have no roots, they have poor root system, or they are just in a very bad shape. Not mentioning any names there. Okay, so this is what this tray is about, and it has all of these orchids apart from my Sherry Baby there. I've just left it because it's doing well for now and I don't want to really mess with it. But it does need a repotting. So most of these ones here have been through that. So I have shared these tips in the past, but I thought I would do one video where I'm addressing this issue with humidity. I wanted to just show you, give you some ideas on how you can increase your humidity if you don't use a humidifier. Simple measures, and here they are. It's like you could have a tray like this and fill it up with some pebbles and a little bit of water. I have all of these sitting in a tray like this, so I could, you know, literally fill up this tray with water. But the only problem with doing that is then the water is shared, which I am being very cautious about at this point because I've been through a lot with these orchids and I don't want to have them infected in any way from, you know, or because of the sharing of the water. So I'm trying to keep them as separate as possible. Another thing so I've done is to localize the pebbles in the water idea into a glass jar like this and just have it sitting there. So the orchid, this Phalaenopsis, I'm trying something else with it, which I will speak in a different video about. But it is very, very stressed right now. But it has a little bit of a root system, not the greatest looking. But basically, you can see it is the one root that is in the water. The rest of them are aerial roots. And that's the way it's sitting. So it's the one root that has to really pull in any water from the water, you know, from the bottom, or else the rest of it is just getting it through the humidity that's created inside of the jar. Another method is something like this, where the pot is small and I've just put it in a tall bulbous kind of a vase where just the shape alone traps in some of the moisture in the bottom because it's closing in a little bit, and just because it's one of the larger orchids, it's a Cattleya here, so a Laelia Cattleya actually, so I just have it without a cover on the top. But ideally, something with a cover on the top like these two would do the job. So simple things that you can get even at the dollar store. These are actually tomato starters, tomato seedling starters, and I got it from the dollar store, a pack of maybe 4 or 5, I can't remember, a while ago. I've never used them for the tomatoes. I've always used them for orchids, and I like it that it has a little vent on the top that you can control the moisture just by turning it, and the vent is quite important. So if you don't have one of those things, you can always use just you know, what do you call these, whatever, you see what it is, and it's just basically with the dome, and it's got the slots for the straw to go in, and I've just bent one back so that there is some venting on the top, just to create airflow, because you want that airflow to happen slightly for the exchange of gases, which is very important. You don't want the carbon dioxide to build up in there, and no air getting in as well. So you need the oxygen, the carbon dioxide cycle, and you need it vented on top. Another method, and I've done this for my little oncidium in there, I forget what it is. Maybe it's a brassy, actually. I can't see what the label is. But in any case, it is a wine glass with pebbles. It's got water in the bottom of it, which I'm not sure if you can see that. So that alone creates humidity. And I've only had it in there. I've only had this set up maybe half an hour now. And you can see it's already starting to create these droplets on the outer glass, and that in turn will create the humidity inside. So it's already working. It's doing its thing. And I can show you, for example, I'll just take this brassavola out. This is not a way to hold the orchid, just to tell you that. I have some water sitting in the bottom, and this needs a repot, but I am just telling myself that I can hold off for just a little bit. The medium is not doing very well. You can see it's very dark, and it does need a repot. But this orchid has solely grown in that cup. Okay, it's time for that cup to go. It's time for a repot. But just to bring home the point of how it really helps increase moisture, I started off with 3 canes. 3 pseudobulbs on this, and now look how many there are. It's grown. It's been over a year, of course, and within that I can see it's really done well. This is the original pot that I got it in. It's a 2-inch pot, and it is tiny, but the orchid has tripled in size, and it's really grown, and which I like. So it's been in here, and I've always had it like that, just with a little bit of water right at the bottom, and that humidity has created all those nice roots. Those roots, I hope you can see that, like, it's got a really good root system. That's another thing I'm doing with the orchids, is I want to enjoy the roots, okay? Because all these orchids at the moment do not have a very good root system, so I want to be able to see the root system. So as much as I can, I have opted for clear pots. Another thing I've used are these yogurt cups that I've peeled off the plastic around it, and those are yogurt cups. I'm speaking to those that are starting off with orchids, or maybe you've brought home a rescue orchid, and now what? You know, you don't have a humidifier maybe that you can set up right next to it, or different things for different reasons, but orchids need their humidity. Most of the orchids come from environments where the humidity is pretty high. In our winters here, I live in Canada, it's cold, it's dry, and the humidity levels are very low, especially indoors, because we have the heating on in the house. The temperatures maybe around 20 degrees. You want to have it in the environment that you live in. So the orchids, it's not ideal, but it'll be okay. Some ideas that you can use to increase humidity with your orchids, and hope this helps somebody. And if you have any questions, do let me know in the comments down below. Thanks again for watching, and if you have not done so already, do subscribe. You'll be the first to know when I upload a video. And until next time, enjoy your orchids. Bye-bye.